So much so that some even Judaic scholars misunderstood it and thought it is a must and there is no room for anyone to deviate from this teaching of eye for eye, tooth for tooth, and this and that. While the Holy Quran, speaking of the same, mentions it to be a necessity of the time. But a window was opened, according to the Holy Quran, even in the Torah, for forgiveness. But a smaller window, which was not emphasized. Because if at the time when Moses appeared among an oppressed people for hundreds of years, he had equally emphasized the forgiveness and revenge, then the people who had been made cowardly, who had lost all their human dignity, who could not rise up to the challenges of answering an enemy with the same weapons. They would always seek refuge in forgiveness, in the name of forgiveness in fact, but it would be cowardice in which they would be seeking refuge. So when revenge was emphasized, it was not that God of that period was a very vengeful God, so different from the God of Christianity. It was one and the same God. He knew human nature better than anyone else. He knew what exact prescription the ills of the time required. So the Quran doesn't say imperfect teaching with reference to Moses. In fact, the Holy Quran says we blessed them and gave them preference over all the people of the world. Was Holy Quran referring to an imperfect teaching? Is that how that is how God gives preference to the people over the rest of the world, by giving them imperfect teaching? Certainly not. What is meant, as I have already been mentioning, speaking, as I already been emphasizing, teaching is perfect in relation to time. Then comes the period of Jesus Christ. The long history of revenge has already hardened the hearts of the Jewish people to the state of stones. And that is how the Holy Quran mentions it. But it creates also hope, even in those stony hearts. And says many a time one finds that from the hearts of the rocks there spring forth the water of life. So it is not a state of utter loss of hope, a state of pessimism which the Holy Quran describes with reference to the stony hearts of the Jews. No, it's a beautiful simile because it takes us back to the time when Moses struck rock 12 times. And at every strike there sprang forth the elixir of life. So the Quranic references are deeply interrelated. So it says that it has happened before. You saw it in the material world, a miracle of Moses, that when he struck rock, water sprang forth. Why have you lost hope in your own stony hearts? Here is Jesus, who could repeat the same miracle over and over again. And from among you would be born people who would emphasize forgiveness and forsake revenge of their own free will. So a teaching, again, which is so different from the previous ones, was perfectly fitted to the time. So this is the example of distinctive features of any religion. Now we're talking of religions which are confined to certain areas, certain traditions, etc. But all religions have predicted a golden age of a universal religion appearing. Christianity speaks of that age, of course, but only with reference to the second advent of Jesus Christ. not with reference to another universal religion being born. But let us not enter that rigmarole of differences and infights. Let me bring you to the modern world of this time, the age we are sharing. If there is a religion already born, which can fulfill the requirements of man as a whole, what additional features should it have? What distinctive features should it possess to attract the global man as such? Refer this question to yourself and then read the small booklet I was referred to, and when we meet again, inshallah, we'll discuss your reaction to that, and if you're not satisfied, I'll be available to answer any further queries, please. Thank you.